and I'm starting. Hey everybody, Friday, February 25th of 2022, and welcome to the AMA session of Envelop. NIFTSY. As always, I'm using cryptocurrency as the media host, and Alex Shedogubov, the CEO, co-founder. Alex, welcome for today's AMA. Okay, as always, let's start with the news of the project. What main successful goals the Envelop team has successfully accomplished on this week? I've heard about Sandbox. This is a very renowned case. Tell us more about that.
So we think that for such cases, we can offer for any metaverse like Sandbox, like Decentraland, like crypto voxels, all our possibilities. We see there's big potential there, especially about advertisal cases, because we suppose that it's inevitable that a number of visitors and gamers, players, creators, any other entities who's creating its scripts soon will increase. Metaverse, I think, very fast, and think in 1 to 3 years we see millions of people there, like they are today in social networks, and there will be needed new cases for advertisers, for interactions between users, and also upgrading different assets, I mean NFTs. So here are our protocol solutions, Oracle solutions, will be perfectly suitable, and so we got primary updates that these cases are needed, and so we can execute it very. So now we started this and think that when the time will come with such an audience, will be full loaded with all solutions needed, and we'll be upgrading day by day. So also we created plenty of them now, and each new client, each new case let us become stronger in our protocol side.
Definitely. And if you haven't seen my latest talk on Kyiv on the Harmony protocol, we were talking about the cases. And let's remind our viewers, what are the current cases, use cases of the core current use cases of Envelop, or better, who are the core partners? For example, CapScore in the case is about that, Blood Trade, a case about that, and so on and so forth. Let's count them again for our understanding of the complex current situation and use cases in Envelop.
So our partners are these projects, as you mentioned, also Safe Hamsters. With them, we are also executing our solutions for Launchpad and upgrade of the tokens. So we can add new functionality like royalties, like collaterals, like dependency of performance due to the tokens that are inside collateral. And this one also about, if you say about rentals inside games, it's all digital. This company creates their own game and kind of their own gaming space and interaction between different game projects, where they need our abilities of non-pledge rentals realized throughout wrap mechanics, where users don't need to pledge any funds to take game assets and play. So we executed the MVP, and they tested that it works now. So I think in close this month there will be released this functionality, and I think it will contribute to secondary market of NFTs. Not because now we see that most of the NFTs are bought, and then they are hold like on hodl, or they are sold, but also don't interact how they should. And here we can split these guys who just want to own the item and these guys who want to play these items. And the second group don't need now to pay plenty of funds, but they just pay for the time they play, and they don't even need to pledge their deposits. About sometimes it could be thousands and tens of thousands dollar equivalent, so it will lower the barrier for newcomers to this field, and I think it will contribute to the whole industry.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I really realized the potential and the power of this use case about renting NFTs and the play to earn reality. This is the crazy mess. It makes a new potential market, or even markets, because as I do understand now, the renting of items in the play to earn is impossible, or perhaps even impossible. Am I correct? And with Envelop,
so it's realized now, but it's kind of a dedication of items inside a kind of admin panel inside games. It looks like that, but here you can give a token, and these users can interact with that and have a full scale. And also there is important plus, because when you rent a wrapped NFT, and for example, we see big interest for skill tokens inside games. And so when you rent your item and when you play and you earn these skill tokens, maybe for some achievements, and when the rental ends up, you still receive your skill tokens which you earned when the protocol unwrapped this NFT, and original one goes to the owner, but you stays with all your achievements performed by these tokens. So this is the main plus, and maybe someday when you decide that you want to play this game, you can buy your item and put your skill tokens inside the collateral of such an item and skill up it, or just maybe you just want to play, earn the skill tokens and resell to other players or any other platforms, marketplaces. So it's gives you additional possibilities to earn funds, not just to game price funds, but also these skills that you can resell. So it's a good way for customization and for users to additional incomes. So I think it can be for a boost for play to earn model, because we see that it's popular, but it's slowing down also due to the market situation. And there are plenty of games, so we can offer them new mechanics which can intensify the audience once again.
Excellent. Let's discuss one of the interesting news. As you told me recently, one of the potential use cases of Envelop is to sell advertising or sell places or squares for advertising, like business sells places or big boards in physical world for advertising. And this advertising may be deployed as an NFT. Tell us more about that. And now, while I'm opening the news and how this case of advertising Metaverse will be working in your vision.
So it's not only in my vision, it's technically checked, and now we are executing this first MVP case. Actually, the Envelop protocol will not be selling this advertising, so we'll be kind of a bridge connecting. On one side, there will be projects, NFT owners, games and metaverses. On other side, we'll have, for example, advertising networks like Google and other smaller ones that automate banner placement on current site. Like here we see several banners on this site you demonstrate. So when the advertisers will win their advertising place inside a game, maybe in Metaverse, in our concept, it's wrapped NFT. So on input, we'll have advertising data. And when it comes to our protocol, we place it in identified NFT could be, for example, here like it can be a building, and for example, this NFT stands for the wall of this building. So we replaced metadata, and this wall is displayed not just a kind of plain wall, but a wall with advertising data. And our protocol controls the time of this advertiser. When it finishes up, the protocol takes out this metadata, and it again is a plain wall. And then when we can do dynamic, we don't need to make new NFTs, advertisable NFTs inside Metaverse, and also it gives additional potential of income for owners of NFTs. Also possible the models of splitting the income, so due to our multi-royalty function. So also for the metaverses themselves, it will be additional income when, for example, unconditionally, they will get some funds from placing advertisements inside their projects. So this is how it looks. It's the first concept. We are executing it with our partners from Vizi. These guys are from digital advertising, so they got their own network. And also we found one partner from Metaverse and Games where we can test it. So maybe we'll participate in some hackathon to perform this case there to see to show it's a kind of a public. So we see here big potential as the audience will grow, and we now see even by this news from Manchester City new football stadium to build Metaverse that the guys are still coming into Metaverse, and they all see big potentials there.
So you've already started to comment the news, the main news. The main interesting news from this week. So Manchester City new football stadium to be built in the Metaverse. And if we remember the current football industry or sports industry, the main revenue, as I do understand, they get from placing advertisement on stadiums' walls. Everybody saw that in any football match. So does this case mean that the case of Envelop could potentially be used on this Manchester City new football Metaverse stadium to put advertising on its walls? I'm just thinking generally about
yeah,
is it
so
possible?
of course it can be used, and also it can be used dynamically and also user dependent, like current banners. So of course there are some limitations of blockchains which we have. We cannot execute it in in less than a second, but also I think that we now see a new generation of chains which work quickly, and due to our Oracle, we could identify the user, for example, by he will stay anonymous, but we will know that this, for example, public address have some reputation, have some interactions, and maybe we could check also his buying activity through networks, and the advertisers will see that this, for example, a valuable member of Web3, and can select some advertisement that mostly will fit to his behavior inside Metaverse. And this also will increase the outputs from the advertising and will not cause such rotation for the audience. And for example, for this football match, we can also see, if we see say about a football field, and around the field we see also on TV that there are many banners, and each banner can be displayed like an NFT, and it can be user dependent NFT, and it will be dynamic throughout the match. The advertisers can have automated options, and when the winner is decided, so we will receive from advertising network the metadata, and our protocol will replace it and make it multiple times throughout the match. And for me, I suppose it's the first and simplest mechanic, but it can have a real hard output for both sides.
Well, okay, let me stop sharing my screen. So we've covered the news of the project. We've covered the news for Metaverse. how the metaverse will become the great area for implementing of the use cases. By the way, I've heard that the plans of the envelope is now we have up to 10 use cases are in deployment in development. And our dream or the task for 2022 is to get 100 use cases. Is that correct? And how does envelope plan to reach this, to grow its use cases 10x times?
So we discussed with the guys this week how to achieve it, and we are focusing on a we got several cases like farming case, launchpad case, marketplace case, rental case, so we can deliver like ready plug and play modules and any new partners, because the first case is the hardest, where we need to understand what our partner needs or what from our side is needed. But with first case executed, we can offer to other like same projects these mechanics, and they can simply re-implement these cases. And we want to kind of semi-automate the process, and also now we understand in realized case our expenses, so it also will be a fast and profitable thing for the whole DAO. So we'll move like that. Now we have to combine two cases, so also deliver box cases for mass use cases, and in parallel, each new case is a kind of customer development for each new user. And now we try to select partners very attentively to not to waste the time of the team, because they are real hard loaded and want to execute the cases with most with some projects that are famous on the market, and the ones with whom we see big potential in future realizations. So it's a real hard task, because we counted that, for example, with Alex Shedogubov, our BDO, we communicated with more than about 100 or 150 projects throughout from spring to current time, and from that 150 cases we are realizing 10 cases. So it's as he said, it's a good conversion for business development, but you see that from such an amount we can only choose 10 most appropriate cases. But also they gave us understanding who we should search for the realization of our case and their needs.
Yeah, so as I see, envelope has got this sort of use cases funnel. In every business we have the sales funnel and the cases funnel. We need to look on 100 project to select 10, then to select one for implementing. Okay, so by the way, we got a question about the DAO. Imagine Gaming asks, any update on DAO launch? What should we know about DAO at all? DAO envelope and the DAO launch, because all the questions are mentioned in mind the tokens of, by the way, NIFTSY token, is that the token for voting in envelope DAO? Am I correct or not? And what should you know about DAO?
Not so, it's a utility token mainly. It's used for, it has both utility, like for example, when we got a new case MicroDAO and we understand what resources we need, and so holders of our tokens vote by for executing this case by their token. They stake their tokens inside this case and they share revenues from such a case. So it's like one for all token, and also it will be used to pay these rewards from the cases realized. So it will be benefiting the users who kind of such staking voted for the case.
So NIFTSY token does not associate with DAO. Okay, got the idea. So what should we know about DAO? Its life cycle into 2020-22. Any update on DAO launch? As
yes. So technically, the DAO is launched. Now we are finishing up the DAO page where it will be displayed the information. And we see that there are now many projects about creation of DAO, but we see that DAO, it's not about to create the DAO. The DAO ecosystem is about interactions. So here that's why I executed the cases for micro DAOs, when inside around big DAO, we form small use cases who interact with each other. All these micro DAOs in our vision and our DAO envelope are connected together by a NIFTSY token. So it's used to vote for DAOs and then to generate income in DAOs, to redistribute this income between DAO members. So in the main utility of our token, definitely it can be used to be stored like a value of wrapped NFT, transactional, to be paid as royalty. But the main idea is it to be kind of connecting element between all this micro-DAO system. And all through parts of our DAO like protocol, Oracle, and Index. So NIFTSY will give maximum functionality of all this, and also for our all new partners who want to get full scale from our solutions.
Okay, so we've covered all the questions, all the topics on issue. Let me remind about a couple of contests. So we have the current contests. Ask here in comments below, and the best question will be awarded 500 NIFTSY token, of course, wrapped, I think, wrapped NFT. All the rewards, Alex, are in the form of wrapped NFT, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we try to reward and show how to use the product and to give new wrapped NFT, which is a functional NFT, not just aesthetic thing.
So if you get reward in form of NIFTSY tokens, you also have an opportunity to look on the wrapped concept of wrapped NFT, because you get them in wrapped form. Wrapped NFT. Wrapped NFT is the core function of stickers for Telegram, and contest link is below. The Olympic meme. By the way, the Olympic invasion has already been finished, as I do know. Okay, so perhaps the Olympic meme contest is canceled. And ambassadors program, of course, the link to join is in the description. And on February, we will, as you know, we'll announce the results of ambassadors, who will pay first monthly rewards for our ambassadors. And ambassadors are the main agents, the great evangelists of Envelop, who love the idea of Envelop, of wrapping tokens, put the collateral inside, and want to bring them into the world. So stay tuned, join our Telegram channel, subscribe on our YouTube channel, apply for being an ambassador, and see you in the next AMA session on the next week. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. See you.